Most people assume Dubai's wealth is a simple geographic lottery. The assumption is that you strike oil in the desert, and limitless cash automatically builds a hyper-modern metropolis. But look at this breakdown of Dubai's modern GDP. That tiny slice, exactly 1%, is revenue from oil. The other 99% comes from entirely different economic sectors. To understand where that 99% comes from, we have to look back to the early 20th century. Before the skyscrapers, Dubai was a modest, impoverished fishing and pearl diving village operating under British protection. While the region sat on a trade route between continents, that location meant nothing without the infrastructure to use it. Their current status is less about a geographic lottery win and more about a calculated, high-risk engineering project. The architect of this strategy was Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed, who took power in 1958. In 1966, his kingdom finally discovered oil beneath the sand. But the discovery came with an immediate crisis. Compared to the massive, sprawling reserves of their neighbor, Abu Dhabi, Dubai's oil supply was small. It was going to run out. Sheikh Rashid voiced his anxiety with a famous prediction. "My grandfather rode a camel. My father rode a camel. I drive a Mercedes. My son will drive a Land Rover, but his grandson will be back on a camel." Anticipating the day the wells would run dry, he refused to hoard the new cash. Instead, he took out massive loans and poured every dollar into infrastructure projects. The acute fear of regressing to an impoverished fishing village forced the leadership to invent a non-oil economic engine from scratch. The first major risk was widening Dubai Creek. Despite mockery over the cost, they dredged the waterway deep enough to accommodate heavy commercial cargo ships. They built Port Rashid and later the massive Port Jebel Ali, specifically designed to capture the maritime traffic moving between Asia and Europe. Then came the policy decision that accelerated their growth. Sheikh Rashid declared the Jebel Ali port a commercial-free zone. This diagram illustrates exactly how that policy works. Foreign businesses operating there face the total elimination of import duties, export duties, and manufacturing taxes. By removing those financial barriers, Dubai bypassed its status as a simple geographical waypoint to become a highly attractive haven for international corporations. In the 1980s, commercial aviation was booming. Pakistan's Karachi airport held the profitable position as the primary refueling hub bridging Europe and Asia. As this map shows, international flight paths converged on Pakistan. Dubai countered by launching Emirates Airlines, backed by heavy state funding and zero taxes. Offering cheaper flights and better service, they bled Pakistan's aviation dominance dry as traffic aggressively rerouted to Dubai. Under the modern leadership of his son, Sheikh Mohammed, the strategy evolved. He recognized that a logistics hub alone wouldn't convince wealthy elites to stay and spend. They needed to manufacture an atmosphere of luxury. In 1999, they completed the Burj Al Arab, an ultra-luxurious hotel built on an artificial island. It served as a giant marketing stunt to rebrand a barren stretch of coast into a global tourist oasis. Dubai executed a ruthless corporate strategy. They built massive logistical capacity and used heavy state subsidies to outcompete and cannibalize the aviation, trade, and tourism markets of their regional neighbors. Today, roughly 3.5 million people live in Dubai, but as this demographic grid shows, only about 300,000 are actually recognized permanent Emirati citizens. The vast majority are foreign expats and temporary workers. Those 300,000 citizens receive incredible state benefits. They pay zero income tax and receive free healthcare, free education, housing, and massive cash stipends. By providing this level of cradle-to-grave security, the state effectively removes the primary economic drivers of social unrest. This model was put to the test in 2011. While neighboring regimes were being toppled by the Arab Spring, the lack of domestic protest in Dubai suggests the system succeeded in making the status quo too valuable for its citizens to jeopardize. But the physical reality of the city requires a different class of people. Millions of migrant laborers from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal do the actual physical work of building and maintaining the infrastructure. These workers are governed by a specific legal framework known as the kafala system. Here is the structural trap of that system. A foreign worker's legal visa and residency status are controlled by their private employer. Because an employee needs their sponsor's permission to leave or change jobs, it creates a massive power imbalance. Human rights groups document widespread abuses, from employers confiscating passports and wages to grueling 20-hour shifts. The tax-free haven enjoyed by global investors relies on the unregulated labor of an invisible, trapped underclass. Beneath the Western-friendly tourist attractions, Dubai operates as a rigid autocracy with incredibly strict internal laws, particularly regarding women's autonomy. The severity of this control occasionally breaks into public view. Members of the ruling family, including Princess Latifa and Princess Haya, have attempted high-profile escapes from the country, resulting in alleged state-sponsored kidnappings to forcibly return them. Dubai pivoted its economy in the span of a single generation. Yet, behind the engineering marvels and zero-tax incentives, it remains a meticulously managed corporate state, where luxury is a byproduct of absolute control.